Myself, Dr. R.R. Sanap, Head Department of Botany, Rao Bahadur Narendra Borake College, Srampur. Today I am going to deliver the lecture on the plant family, that is the family Magnoliaceae. So it is the part of syllabus of TY BSc Botany, paper 4th, BO 334, and title of the paper is the Spermatophyta and Paleobotany. So in this lecture, when I am going to deliver the lecture on the study of plant family, that is Magnoliaceae, so I will cover the point that is the systematic position of the family, then the morphological characters of the family, distinguishing characters of the family, its floral formula, floral diagram, and the economically importance of the family. So first let us see about the systematic position of the family. So here if we see the systematic position of the family, so it shows the division Spermatophyta, then subdivision Angiosperms, so this family, it is included in the class Dicotyledons. Then subclass Polypetalae, series Thalamiflorae, it is included in the primitive order, that is the order Ranales, family Magnoliaceae, its genus, so it consists of the genera like Michaelia champaca, then Magnolia grandiflora, Liriodendron, Tilipifera, and so on. So thus this is the systematic position or classification of this family. Division Spermatophyta, subdivision Angiosperms, class Dicotyledons, subclass Polypetalae, series Thalamiflorae, order Ranales, family Magnoliaceae, and consisting of the, here this we will see this genus, that is the Magnolia, and species is Grandiflora. So this is the first point, that is the systematic position. Now let us see about its morphological characters of the family. Morphological characters of the family. So when we are going to study the any plant family, so we have to start from its habit of the plant. Its habit, so if you see the plants of the family Magnoliaceae, so it shows the presence of the shrubs and woody trees. So plants belonging to this family, they are showing the habit, that is shrubs and woody trees. So herbs or herbaceous habit, it is absent. Then if we see the root, as it is the dicot family, it is primitive family, that's why it is included in the Rannell's, order Rannell's, placed at the beginning, and it is showing the taproot system. So this family, it is a dicot family, and that's why it shows the presence of the taproot system. Then if we see the stem, so stem, it is aerial, present above the soil. It is branched, it is woody, and is gland dotted. So the stem, it shows the presence of the oil glands, and so it is called as the gland dotted, and it is having the specific smell or odor. If we see the leaves, so leaves, they are simple, they are alternate, petiolate, stipulate, stipule is large and bird scale type. This bird scale type stipule is present, showing the presence of the reticulate venation. So here, as the plant of this family, they are showing, including the dicot, it shows the presence of the reticulate venation. So here important thing is that here bird scale type of stipule is present. So if you see the structure of the stipule, it is bird scale type. Such type of stipule is present, and so it is called as the bird scale type of stipule. It is somewhat thick in appearance. Then if we see the floral characters, in that inflorescence, so this inflorescence, it is axillary or solitary cyme type of inflorescence is present. Actually, it is the cymose type of inflorescence. In subtype, it is axillary or solitary. So flowers, they are produced singly, and that's why it is called as the solitary cyme. If we see the flower, so flower, it is bracteate. In Michaelia champaca, it is bracteate. In Magnolia grandiflora, it is bracteate. So bracteate, pedicellate. Flowers are actinomorphic. So the flower, it shows the both sexes or sex organs, that is the androecium and gynoecium. That's why it is bisexual. Actinomorphic, it is having the mini vertical plane of symmetry, having a stalk, that is why called as pedicellate, having the bract. So the flowers are hypogynous and complete. So here all the parts of the flower, that is calyx, corolla, androecium, gynoecium, so they are present, and that's why it is called as the complete flower. Then if we see the floral parts, in that the calyx and corolla, or if the calyx and corolla, they are not differentiated, so the word perianth is used. So here important thing is that in the plant like the Magnolia grandiflora, here the calyx and corolla, they are not differentiated. So the term that is perianth is used. But in case of the Michaelia champaka, here the calyx, 3 sepals are present, 6 petals are present. So calyx and corolla are differentiated in the Michaelia champaka. But in case of say Magnolia grandiflora, so here it shows the presence of the tepals 9 in number. They are polytepalous. They are present in the valvate type of estivation, and they are present in 3 whorls of 3 each. So here, if you see the perianth lobes, individual member of perianth, it is called as tepal. Tepals are 9 in number. They are free, polytepalous and present in valvate type of estivation. And these 9 tepals, they are present in the 3 whorls of 3 each. It means in outer whorl 3 tepals, in inner whorl, in the middle whorl 3 tepals, and again in the inner whorl it shows the presence of the 3 tepals. So such type of perianth lobes, they are present in the Magnolia plant. Then if we see the androecium, so this androecium, if we see, it shows the presence of stamens. So the stamens are many or indefinite. Many stamens are present. These stamens, they are free, so they are called as the polyandrous. Stamens are free, so called as the polyandrous, and these are spirally arranged. They are spirally arranged on elongated thalamus. They are spirally arranged on elongated thalamus. And the stamens, they show the presence of the anthers. They are adnate. They are dithecous and basifixed. So the anthers, they are bicelled or dithecous, and they are basifixed. So I will explain it with the help of diagram after a few minutes. Then if we see the gynoecium, so the gynoecium, so here it is, gynoecium is polycarpellary. So poly means many. Apocarpus gynoecium, polycarpellary apocarpus gynoecium is present. Apo means free, and spirally arranged. They are spirally arranged on the thalamus, elongated thalamus. There is a presence of the marginal placentation. Marginal placentation is present. And there is a presence of each, this carpel is having a single, its own ovary, own style and own stigma. Such type of mini carpels, they are spirally arranged on the elongated thalamus. And if you see the type of fruit, so it is the iterio of follicle type of fruit. So thus here, these are the morphological characters of the family. here, if we see the structure of the flower in detail, then we will understand it very well. So in this family Magnoliaceae, here the flower, it shows the presence of the elongated thalamus. So there is a presence of the elongated thalamus. So this is the elongated thalamus. It is having a short stalk. Flower is having a short stalk, or called as the pedicel, and it is having a small bract. So this is the bract of the flower. This is the stalk that is called as the pedicel of the flower. So this is the pedicel, and this flower, it shows the presence of the perianth lobes. So these are the perianth lobes. So these are the perianth lobes, or maybe called as the tepals. And this elongated thalamus, see, this is the thalamus. So this thalamus, it is elongated. Thalamus is elongated, and it shows the presence of many stamens at the basal portion. So these are the stamens. So these stamens, they are many. The stamens, these are adnate, they are dithecous, and they are basifixed. So the stamens, they are dithecous, basifixed, and they are adnate. So here, if we see a single stamen, it shows the structure like this. So it shows the presence of this connective, and this connective, it is present in between these anther lobes, and it is having a short filament. So this is the filament. These are the anther lobes, and this is the connective, which connects, actually it is the vascular tissue, and this filament, it directly enlarge above it, and thus connective, it comes up to the upper portion, and thus surrounding on both sides, these are the two anther lobes. And such type of stamen, they are called as the adnate stamen, or anthers or stamens, they are adnate. This is a single stamen. So all these stamens, they are spirally arranged on the elongated thalamus. So at the terminal portion of this elongated thalamus, so here it shows the presence of many carpels, and these carpels, they are also many. They are spirally arranged on this elongated thalamus. So these are the stamens, these are the carpels, and these carpels, these are spirally arranged on this elongated thalamus. So these are the carpels. Now, each this carpel, if we see, so it shows the presence of a ovary, a short style, and curved stigma. Such type of curved stigma is present. So this is the stigma. This is a short style, and this is the ovary. So this is the ovary. With the help of the short stalk, it attaches to this elongated thalamus. So this is a single carpel. Such type of mini carpels, they are spirally arranged on the elongated thalamus. So here, if we see the gynoecium it is polycarpellary. Poly means many carpels are present. They are showing the apocarpus condition. That is, all these carpels, they are free from each other. Each this carpel, it has its own ovary, own style and own stigma, and that's why it is called as the apocarpus condition. So many carpels, but carpels are free. If we take the LS of the ovary, then it shows the presence of the parietal marginal placentation. So here there is the presence of the marginal placentation. So the ovules, they are attached to the margin. So these are the ovules, they are attached on the marginal placentation. So thus here, this if we see the structure of this flower, then it is showing the different floral parts. Correct? Flower is pedicellate. It is actinomorphic, bisexual, that is showing the both androecium and gynoecium, complete and hypogynous. All the parts here, perianth, stamens, carpels, they are produced from above the ovary. So flower here it is hypogynous, here ovary is superior. And there are many stamens. Stamens are many. They are free, spirally arranged on this elongated thalamus. Anthers are adnate. They are bicellate or dithecous, and they are base-fixed. And here this gynoecium, they are having the polycarpellary apocarpus gynoecium. Each ovary, it shows the presence of 2 or 3 or sometimes many ovules which are present on the marginal placentation. Here, if we see the type of fruit, so this type of fruit, it is the etaero of follicle type. It is etaero of follicle type. So this fruit, it is developed from polycarpellary apocarpus gynoecium. Polycarpellary apocarpus gynoecium. So such type of mini carpel, each this carpel, it gives rise to the fruitlet, and there is a formation of a bunch of these follicles or group of follicles and forming a type of fruits. It is an aggregate type of fruit. So it is an aggregate type of fruit. We call this as the etaero of follicle. Each this follicle, it is dehiscing on the dorsal suture. It dehisces along the dorsal suture. If we see the structure of the fruit, then it shows the presence of such type of follicles. And thus each this fruit, it dehisces along the dorsal suture. So this is the dorsal means which is it dehisces from the upper side. Dorsal means upper. There is a formation of this suture, and through this dorsal suture, this fruit it dehisces. So thus it is an aggregate type of fruit known as the etaero of follicle type of fruit. Now, important another point is the distinguishing characters of the family. So if we see the distinguishing characters, of the family. So here plants, if we see in the family Magnoliaceae, so the plants, they are showing this shrubby or woody habit. So this is one distinguishing character. Then if we see the leaves, so the leaves, they are stipulate. Stipule is thick, leathery and bud scale type. So this is another distinguishing character. If we see the inflorescence, it shows the presence of solitary or axillary cyme. Flowers, these are bractate and hypogynous, as there is a presence of the elongated thalamus, and family it is included in the Thalamiflorae. It means it shows the presence of the hypogynous flowers. If we see the androecium, so stamens, they are many spirally arranged on the elongated thalamus with adnate anthers. If we see the gynoecium, it shows the presence of the multicarpellary or polycarpellary apocarpus gynoecium. There is presence of the marginal placentation, and the type of fruit is the etario of follicle. So these are the distinguishing or diagnostic characteristics of the family Magnoliaceae. Now the fourth important point is that the floral diagram and floral formula. Just a minute. So let us see about the floral formula. So here, if you see the plant or flowers of the plant like the magnolia, so I am going to write the floral formula of the Magnolia grandiflora. So here, flowers, they are ebracteate, flowers are actinomorphic. Flower, it shows both sex organs, that is the androecium and gynoecium. That's why flowers, they are bisexual. Here, in case of the magnolia, calyx and corolla, they are not differentiated. That's why we are using here the word perianth. So perianth, it consists of the 9 tepals. These tepals, they are free. So they are present in the whole of 3, that is 3 plus 3 plus 3. Then androecium, stamens are many, they are free. Gynoecium, stamens free. Carpels, they are many, infinity or free. So this is the floral formula. If you see the floral diagram, so it shows the presence of the floral diagram like this. So here, there are 6 tepals. These tepals, they are present in 3 whorls. So thus here, these are the 3 tepals of the outer whorl. These are the 3 tepals of the next whorl. These are the 3 tepals of the inner whorls. So thus here, these are 9 tepals, and these tepals they are free from each other. Then here flower, it is actinomorphic. So this is the mother axis, and in the center there are stamens and the carpels. So the stamens, they are mini, they are free, they are spirally arranged on the elongated thalamus. So thus here these are the mini stamens which are arranged spirally on elongated thalamus, and at the center these are the carpels. So these carpels, they are also mini, and these carpels, these are also spirally arranged. So these are the carpels. Here in the plant like grandiflora, flower is not bracteate, so it is abracteate, actinomorphic. Pyria, this shows the 9 tepals in 3 holes of 3 each, they are free. Androecium stamens mini, and the stamens, these are free and spirally arranged on elongated thalamus. Ganoecium, it shows the presence of the carpels mini, and they are also spirally arranged. So this is the floral formula, and this is the floral diagram. Now let us see about the last point, that is the economic importance of the family. Economic importance. So this this family, it is economically important. So the first plant is the Michelia champaga. In Marathi it is called as Sonsafa. So if we see the flowers of this plant, they are large, showy, attractive, and so they are used in the religious ceremonies by Hindus. So Hindu people, they use these flowers in their religious ceremonies, as the flowers are large, showy, attractive, and the scented. So if we see the medicinal use, so from the bark of this plant, the camphor is extracted. We know that this camphor, it is also used in the different types of ceremonies, and also it is medicinally important. And wood of this plant, it is hard durable, and it is used for making the furniture. So from the wood of this plant, the different types of furnitures are made. Then the next plant is the Magnolia grandiflora. Magnolia grandiflora. So here, flowers of this plant, they are also large, attractive, scented, and so the flowers, they are also used in the religious ceremonies by Hindus. So Hindu people, they use the flowers in their different ceremonies, as flowers are very scented, attractive, and showy. Then the wood of this plant, it is also used for making the quality furniture. So this wood, it is also used for making the matches boxes, and also for making the different types of the toys. It is also used for making the toys. Then the next plant is the Liriodendron tulipifera. So this it is known as the tulip plant. So here this plant, It is planted for their valuable timber or wood. Timber of this plant, it is hard, durable, and so it is used for making the different types of the furniture. So in America, this plant it is commonly cultivated and it is used for making the furniture. So thus here this is about the economically important plants and their economic importance, like Michaelia champaca, Magnolia grandiflora, Liriodendron tuliifera. So this is about the family Magnoliaceae. So I'll conclude here. Thank you very much.